I'm Big Dave, the voice of PIWF Wrestling, and you're watching Buster H.R. Johnson on YouTube. Go down, like, subscribe, get on that channel, and watch some of the awesome videos he posted from all around the area. So for everybody all around the area, I'm Big Dave. We'll see you inside.
Well, let's get to Moondog. Let's start off with you with Moondog. Because like I said, I feel like that's probably a big part of y'all's career.
All right, like I said, Simon, I used to run Osceola, mainly ran the schools, and he'd run the surrounding towns, Joyner, Wilson, Luxora. I'm sure I'm missing a few. Dice,
Blytheville.
Gosnell, yeah, Blytheville for sure. So
Kaiser.
maybe 1994, maybe 94, Simon hooks up with a guy in Osceola who's got a building down in, it used to be an old car dealership.
Yeah.
Down in
Downtown.
downtown.
Yeah.
And he started running a weekly show. And I don't really know what happened with that as far as Simon goes.
Yeah.
Simon run it a while, and then one day you show up and Motley's got it. So Motley had it a couple shows, a few
I
shows.
didn't know that.
Yeah, Motley had it for a few shows. I mean, it might have been more than a few, but it wasn't long after Motley had it. Then Moondog, Motley's out, and Moondog's got the building. So somehow we got Moondog's number and give him a call, and he set up a meeting for us to come from Helena and come to Osceola and meet with him. So we met him at the building. He had worked, I think he worked a couple of the Motley shows. Definitely the one before he took the thing over.
Yeah.
But I think he'd worked a couple before that. And we'd been on a show or two with him that Simon run before that, here and there, but never really, I don't even know that we had a conversation, even said boo to each other before that.
Yeah.
But I mean, it could have been one or two shows. So we called Moondog, and of course he don't remember us or know from just, you can say, well, we worked this show with you, but he don't know whether he really didn't know or he just wanted to see if we'd come meet him to see how bad we wanted to work, because it's like a 2.5 hour drive from where we live one way. So we meet him late one evening, about 7 o'clock one evening at the building. Go in the building, talk to him, bullshit with him for 30, 45 minutes, and me and Sam were the very first two talents on Moondog's roster.
Yeah.
The very first two. There was Moondog and me and Sam.
Yeah.
Very first two on that roster. And from that point on, he ran that place, and then he hooked up with Big Daddy.
Big Daddy.
Because Sandra and them, Big Daddy's wife, used to bring, she'd come to the shows, Simon's show, Motley's show, and then Moondog, like I said, had it for a few shows at that same building.
Yeah.
And she would come and bring the kids and different stuff, and they'd watch the shows. And I want to say maybe it started out with maybe Big Daddy's maybe was a sponsor.
Maybe.
And it kind of, like, I'm not privy to the inside information as far as what the details,
Yeah.
but they hooked up somehow. Wasn't long, then we moved to another building on up closer to the interstate, and it was the
Old
home.
nightclub building.
Moondog Championship Wrestling was born.
Yeah.
Right
And for those
there.
few people who don't know, Big Daddy, LaFonce Latham.
Yeah.
I mean, he'll always be Big Daddy to any of us.
Sam actually gave him that name.
Really.
On the floor, he called him Big Daddy one night, and it just stuck.
Stuck. Everybody call. As a matter of fact, he names his businesses is Big Daddy's and Miss Sandra's or whatever.
Yeah. Then after that,
He'll always be Big Daddy.
it was sold up for Osceola, and still is the same company. Different hands are running it now, but in essence, it's still the same company that it's been for 30 years, a little more now.
It's vastly different though. Moondog, I don't feel like will ever get the credit that he deserves though. Because the Moondog and LaFonts or whoever took that town, I've never seen a wrestling town like Osceola, Arkansas. I growed up going to that show full of folks. I mean, there was never a night that building wasn't full of folks.
Yeah. Once Moondog got it, he didn't ever look back. And when he first started running it, some people know the story, some people don't, but when he first started running it, when we moved to the new building, first few shows, nobody was out there. 5, 10, 12 people.
Really?
You know, and we would come to the back, the boys, and be like, dog, what are we going to do? Dog's words were, we're going to run till they come. We going to run till they come. And now all of us are like, you know, you got no experience. So all of us in our heads thinking, this shit's going to go under. You don't catch all people, there ain't no show. We're going to run till they come. 3 months later, on an average of 200 people every Friday night.
Oh, yeah.
For
sure.
years and years and years. Yeah, I mean, it fluctuated, but on average, 200, I'd say 200. If you average it out through the years for them, especially them first 5, 6 years, once they got to going.
Yeah.
If you went and took all the attendance and averaged it out, I'd say it definitely averaged out to 200 people a Friday night.
Yeah.
You know, if big football game was championship game or something, it might be a little lower, but always had a crowd from that point on.
Oh, and that's one thing. Osceola is a football town. And if you can still draw people in a town like that on a Friday night, you're doing something right.
Well, you know, like you said, Moondog don't get the credit. Everybody thinks of Moondog spot on TV, hitting people with chairs, beating people up.
Barking.
But look, this dude was way, as good as he was on TV and out in the ring, he was really 100 times better at running a show.
Right.
Booking guys. He could take any guys and figure out something to do with them that would work for a while. Some of them still working to this day under the same gimmicks that Moondog help them create.
Right.
But man, I learned so much from just watching him, watching how he handled me, watching how he handled the fans, watching how he handled situations. Say something happens out there and you got some fans that are pissed off, I ain't coming back because one of the hills went a little too far or something. One night I walked out and did the old hat flip. This ain't very far past the dude who did the hat flip and the fan headbutted the big guy.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there was the old man, and I walked by, and he used to sit right on the corner of the front row to the right. And I don't even know why I did it. I didn't even think about it. Didn't plan to do it. It just happened. He looked up and kind of looked at me hard, and I was finna walk off, and I just bloop, flipped that hat. As I walked off, he threw his hot coffee on my back, which I didn't really even sell it. I just kept moving, but he was pissed. Man, when I got to the back, Moondog, it was funny. Here's Moondog. If he can handle the situation for something like that, it was funny, and he didn't want to lose them customers at the same time. You know what I mean? They were threatening. There was like 4 or 5 tickets that this dude bought every Friday night.
Probably some of Nathan Hart's fans.
Every Friday night, at least. So you're talking probably $40 worth of tickets you'd lose every Friday night.
Concessions.
So Moondog goes out and does whatever he does with the guy and smooths it all out. And he comes back and he's like, look, man. He's kind of laughing at the same time because it's funny. Because, I mean, everybody has done it, has tried it. Most people have done the hat flip. A lot of people have. I didn't realize it at the time because, like I said, I didn't plan to do it. It was just a reaction to something. He said, look, you can't be out there flipping damn old rednecks hats off their head. The older they are, the worse it is, man. He said, the dude is pissed, man. He said, but it's all right. I got it worked out.
Yeah.
He said, it's cool. They ain't going nowhere, so it's good. I mean, it's just funny. The dude knows wrestling. I mean, he really was a genius at wrestling. He had these notebooks, and he would know where he wanted to be 5 or 6 months down the line.
Right.
I mean, literally, he'd start right here, and he would have these guys book these shows laid out. And if every guy showed up on this show, and nobody, which it don't happen, there's always somebody don't fucking show up for some reason.
Yeah.
Whether it's legit or not. But if every guy shows up here, that leads us to this one, and it's already laid out. If all the guys show up here, this is the next step. Boom, 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 boom.
Domino
And it
effect.
ought to be 5 months down the line where everything works just right. All these angles have played out over these months.
Yeah.
And it was literally months. It wasn't start it one week and pay it off the next week. It was build an angle, build a story, stair step, until we get to the point where we got to do something to climax it. We got to blow it off. You know, and then he was a genius at, when it come blow off time, you insert the right situation where this guy gets to go here, this other guy gets to go here. Their shit really ain't over, but they sprout off with different people and work them angles for a little while.
Sets up for something
And then it ought to be 6, 7 months down the line, and this reconverges. These two guys, they cross paths again.
Yeah.
And then you go play back from here. You remember when they used to put the TV in the ring and they'd show them last week's show before? You know, like at school, put the damn thing, the little roll around table in the ring, and set the box TV in there, and they would show them last week's show before this week's show, for what they were fixing to see. And that way people understood and kept up. They knew exactly where the story was, who did what they did. Really, they probably knew it better because when you're watching it live, there's all kind of shit going on. If a kid screams over here, you're liable to look and miss something.
Yeah.
You know, if someone's fighting over here, you're liable to look at that and miss something. But when you show it back to them, they absorb the story even better than they got it live last week. And, I mean, but our dog would have some of the most convoluted 30-guy finishes at times, but it always seemed to work out. In your head, you're thinking, this shit's never going to work. There's like 36 moving parts. There's 12 different people going to run in, and this is not going to work. But it always seemed to work.
You were never not entertained.
And it was always entertaining. His show was always fun.
Fun, man. I remember so many nights growing up. Me and my family would go and have so much fun. And ain't nothing more fun than yelling at the heels, getting Sam riled up.
We had fun.
Are y'all getting some of my family riled up? Because you know those ladies in my family be the maddest in the crowd.
See, here's the thing. All wrestlers, they want to be part of, they want to feel like they're part of something cool.
Right.
It don't matter whether you're getting your ass whooped. If it's a cool story, a cool angle, man, ain't nothing better sometimes than being the guy that gets his ass whooped as part of this cool story.
Yeah.
Even if it ain't your story. Say you're inserted just to take that ass whooping, but you get to be part of that story. Guys need to look at it more like that. Like, look, we all, sometimes we're the hero, sometimes we're the patsy.
Yeah.
And this is wrestling. I don't even know, is there really a hero out there that's never been the villain, never had to be the patsy too?
Right.
You know, I don't think there is. Used to, you would say Sting at one point, but at this point, no, because, I mean,
yeah,
you know, he's done so much different stuff now. You can't be the star all the time. Sometimes sometimes you're the laugh and sometimes you're the butt of the joke.
Yeah.
You know, and you got to be both. You can't always be the star of the show. You know, sometimes you got to be the one getting swept up off the mat.
Right.
The guys need to understand that. You know, believe in what you're doing, have fun doing it, but it's our job to make these fans believe.
Right.
Here's the thing. We all know it's a work. And here's something else too. long before all this social media, 99.9% of wrestling fans always knew it was a work, but they treated it like it wasn't, and would go to the death with people who would call it fake. Why?
Yeah.
Because the wrestlers believed, and if the wrestlers cared that much to do the things they did, put on the show they did for these people, if the wrestlers believe, the fans will believe.
Right.
It's all on us. It's as simple as that. But when we don't believe and we go out there and we're just playing and pretending, nobody's getting that. Nobody's gonna buy that shit. Nobody's gonna buy that.
When you don't make it believable, I see so much now of people. You can tell it's pretend punches, and you can see them do a drop kick and miss them by a foot, but the person will still sell it. I mean, we didn't see
we were
that.
told that, hey, if it don't fucking connect, don't sell it. Which everybody, you get in a groove, and if it's a spot, sure, everybody's had someone throw something at them that didn't quite touch them, and you sold it.
Right.
But to do it on a regular basis, and sometimes to do it so blatant that something's a foot away. When a motherfucker throws a drop kick and he's a foot away from you, even if you don't swat it, you fucking look at him like he's a fucking idiot and let the people know that this is a dumbass right here.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's better than selling it and everybody knowing, well,
You
he
both
took
look
that
like
bump
dumbass.
because he was supposed to, even though it didn't connect.
Right.
You know, it's better for him to look like a dumbass because he missed his own move than you to sell it for him when it didn't connect, make the whole business look like jackasses.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know. And there's so much good talent out there right now in our area.
Yeah.
Man, there's so many fucking guys that can work. I mean, really, when I was coming up, here's the thing. The guys can do more shit now. But when I was coming up, there was less killer workers, but the workers that were killer were way better.
Yeah.
At working the crowd, at making them believe. Maybe not better at move sets, because all of these guys now can do pretty much everything.
Yeah.
But to do everything for no reason don't mean shit.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing, I can hit you with 10 chair shots, but if I set everything up right, I can hit you with one, and it means something, where I can hit you with 10, you get the shit beat out of you, it don't mean nothing, nobody cares.
Yeah.
Where if we set it up, we play it out right, the right situation, I can hit you with one good chair shot, and people will be sending you fucking mail hoping you get well and shit.
Yeah.
Or I can hit you with 10, beat the shit out of you, and nobody give a shit in the end.
Yeah.
You know, that's the difference. Guys need to believe.
Yeah.
Guys need to believe in who they are, is the way I feel about it.
Yeah, a lot of times I see stuff now, it looks like people are just going out there just doing a dance, like just boom, 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 performing. But I'll tell you something else. Storylines.
Where?
Exactly. I mean, one thing you said about Dog, you started off with the storyline, you started off here, and you got to an ending. I mean, guys got to an ending. It took you somewhere. They didn't just wrestle one night and then the next week they're doing something else with somebody else. You wouldn't know why White Lightning was going against whoever, Primetime Tim White or the Hellraiser, or, you know, Frankie Tucker was doing this. There was a reason why it was being done. You know, you don't get that no more.
And see, that's what wrestling fans really come for.
It's a soap opera.
I mean, that's the truth. To be totally honest, that is the honest truth. It is, but when it's done right, it's like Shakespeare.
Yeah.
It's better than. I mean, fuck Shakespeare. It's better than. When it's done properly, I don't think there's no stronger. The only thing that could be stronger would be maybe music.
Yeah.
As an art form, music makes people feel. Wrestling done right makes people feel.
Yeah.
And that's what wrestling's all about. Fuck all the moves, all the bullshit. If you can make these people feel whatever it is you're trying to sell them,
Yeah.
then they're going to buy it. And they come wanting to believe.
Yeah.
They come wanting to believe. And here's something else. It ain't just the wrestlers, the fans. The fans aren't the same.
Yeah.
Man, I see so many guys calling spots and it's blatant, and these fans don't bust them out. Back in the day, you get caught calling a spot, you're going to get embarrassed because there's going to be some motherfuckers in the crowd yelling, stop talking to each other. We see you talking. Now the fans just let it go. That's one thing. The fans need to critique these guys more. And that's the honest truth. Think about it. If the fans would, hey, you fucked up. You fucked up. You fucked up. The chant. That's what the fans need to do.
Yeah.
They need to let these guys know, us all know, if you're in there and you did something, if you missed a fucking move and the other guy sold it too, then both of y'all fucked up. It needs to be y'all fucked up.
Yeah.
And it might change some of that. These guys might get a little embarrassed that you start hearing them chants too much during your match. You don't like them.
Well, you are talking to the person that you've had to tell to shut up because you're too smart to the show. You don't need to be out there hollering at these folks and telling them this stuff because that's the way I feel too.
Well, here's the thing. On that, it ain't just you. God, I feel like some of the workers are too sensitive now.
Yeah.
Because they know that you're kind of, even though I'm not wrestling, we're still
Part of the business.
part of the business.
Yeah.
Different now. I never thought I'd be on this end of the business, truthfully.
Yeah.
Never even had a dream to be on this end of the business till, I mean, it kind of just happened. But you're out there yelling. They know you're behind the scenes too, which really we're not, because I very seldom go into dressing rooms now.
Right. I don't know
when we
what's
do
going to happen
this.
in the show.
But they don't distinguish that.
Yeah.
You're out there yelling. If you're out there yelling, you fucked up, then they're pissed in the back because, well, you shouldn't be drawing attention to that. When really, in actuality, it's one thing to fuck up ever so often. Everybody does that. But if it's a regular basis, you should not be fucking up that much.
Right.
You know?
That's what frustrates me. What frustrates me is going to a show and I'm here this night and they say, next week we're going to be doing this. This is what we're bringing the fans. This is the kind of match we have. And then we get there and it's a whole nother world. They done forgot about what they said last week.
Hey,
That pisses me off.
you ain't getting in the ring till you get gear. Same situation. You don't fucking promise the fans something. Now, if an emergency happens and you got a match booked and someone can't get there for some reason and you have to change something, that's just wrestling.
Right.
But blatantly promise the fans something knowing that you're not going to give it to them and have no intentions of giving it to them, period.
Right.
That's a no-no. That's that'll kill your town quicker than anything else.
Yeah.
They'll let you get away with that shit a couple of times, but the fans don't take them long. Then they notice, well, you know, this week it's supposed to be this match, and that's what they come for, expected. And then you get there, and it's something completely different.
Yeah.
Well, if they came there knowing that match, and they came there for that match, then they, no matter how good this next match is, they still were slighted.
They paid their money for this match.
Came there to see that.
That's what pisses me off. That's when I get out there and I want to run my mouth because no, that's not what you told these fans last week they were going to get. And then this week it's like a whole nother world. You don't forgot what you said last week. No, you don't do that. Like you said, Moondog. That's one of the best things I've ever heard is when you've told me this many times that Moondog had his weeks planned out from week to week to week. He knew what was going to happen. Why do people not do that no more? That's why
they
there's
don't
no stories.
think it matters.
But it does.
They think all the fans know it's fake, so we don't have to.
But they still want to be entertained. They still want to be told a story. Like I said, we know General Hospital's fake too, but we still want to sit down and watch this soap opera.
That's the fans. The guys, I don't think that way. I think the guys nowadays, a lot of them think that everybody knows it's a work, so it don't matter if it looks like shit.
Right.
Or if we just change it. I mean, here's the thing. What you gonna do, you go in, you buy a ticket to see Maverick, and you get in there and it's a totally different movie.
Right.
I don't give a fuck if it's the greatest movie you ever ended up seeing. you still bought that ticket to see Maverick, and when you got in there, you got fucked.
Right.
You know, same principle, and I think it boils down to mentality, and it's not just the boys, it's the fans too. The fans have become complacent with half-ass wrestling.
But that's why we don't have, you know, why you're losing fans, why you're not drawing fans. Your whole thing is you want to draw fans in, you want them to come back, come to the show. But if you're not giving them a storyline to follow, what's making that person want to come back? I mean, like I said, growing up, there's nothing more than rooting for, like I said, White Lightning. I mean, that's just the one person I can think of growing up was the All-American boy, the it person, White Lightning in Osceola. You know, you wanted to come every week and root for White Lightning, but then you also wanted to come boo the bad guys and hackle Sam and get Sam to be yelling at you. That was part of the fun, part of the show. And fans don't get that no more, you know, at most shows, and that's sad. That's sad to me.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, I don't know. Yeah, I always hope wrestling will. It ain't coming back. The way it'll never be what made me want to be a wrestler.
Right.
It'll never be, because here's the thing. I don't think, like, when I talk about that 5-year-old kid in his mom and daddy's living room floor wrestling this big giant panda bear, there is no differentiation between being a wrestling fan and wanting to be a wrestler. I think the minute I saw it, I knew right then.
Yeah.
I don't think there was, like, I don't remember any stage where I never ever watched wrestling in my head as a fan.
Yeah.
In my head, I think from the very first day, I wanted to be in there doing it, and as I got older, that changed from wanting to knowing I could do it, believing I could do it if I got the opportunity.
Right.
Now, if it hadn't have been for Sam calling Jay Jarrett, I wouldn't mentally. I was more concerned with doing whatever I was going to do that night than
planning ahead.
Yeah, I mean, you're young, you're having fun, you're partying. I mean, in my head then, it'll just happen when it happens.
Yeah.
You're not knowing that sometimes you gotta grease the wheels and you gotta make some moves to put shit in motion. It don't just happen when it happens.
Right.
But at the time, I mean, that wasn't my main concern.
Right.
So, I mean, without Sam, I might not have ever been a wrestler.
Right.
You know, but I never was a fan. That kind of fan.
Yeah.
Like, I've never, I don't like the word mark because to me it just sounds, it's disrespectful.
There's a difference between a fan and a
here's
mark.
the thing. If we're in the back talking and it's just a couple wrestlers, and we use the word mark, it's not a derogatory, as derogatory as it is if you just refer to fans in general as marks. I don't really like that. It's kind of dirty to me. I mean, without the fans, there is.
You got nothing.
I mean, without the fans, without those people, without those marks, you ain't got shit. You just fucking bunch of half-naked dudes rolling around in the ring together.
Right.
That ain't pretty sight.
Right.
But you add 100, 200 people to that cheering and throwing shit and booing, then you got a show.
Yeah.
You know, and so I don't like the word mark for fans. But it still depends on how you use it in the context, and you know, two wrestlers about how's the marks, you know, out there.
Yeah.
You know, it's a little different, but when you call a fan a mark, to me that changes the tone of.
Yeah.
I'm not treating the fans, even as a heel, I'm not treating the fans like they're marks. Like they're stupid to me, when you say it like that, it means these people are stupid, they're idiots, they believe this bullshit we're trying to sell them.
But you need them to believe that.
Without them believing this bullshit, you don't have nothing to sell.
Right.
I
There's
mean,
no point.
You know, like I said, we're a bunch of half-naked dudes in a building in a ring and nobody's around. Film that shit and see who wants to see it.
Right.
See what it looks like. But you add 200 people to that,
Cheering you on.
booing, cheering, throwing shit, eating popcorn, kids running around.
Right.
Then it's something, you know. It changes the whole dynamic of it.
Tell me something you learned from Moondog that you've always taken with you from anything else you've done.
It'll all work out in the long run. That's Moondog's famous saying. It don't matter what the fucking situation is. Me and Moondog, we fought some, and you know I didn't realize how much I did love Moondog until it was too late.
Right.
And how much I did without him mentally, because he kind of finished me.
Yeah.
I mean, I was growing as a wrestler, but Moondog got a hold of me and mentally finished me to the business almost, to just smarten me up. And I don't mean he set me down and said, this word means this and this and this. I mean, just working around him and under him for 10 years, I absorbed a lot.
Yeah.
Much more than I ever realized. Way much more. The dude is,
Yeah.
I mean, he fucking dog. That's all I can say. I mean,
I've heard more dog stories.
I mean, you know, it's weird. You watch Moondog, and then before that, I mean, as Larry Latham, you know, as a kid, and this is a guy that was WWF champion, tag team champions at one time.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're working with him on a regular basis, bullshitting with him in the dressing room, and it's something 2 years before it happened, you'd have never dreamed. I'd have never thought it would, you know, the situation would be that.
Right.
You know, it's just, he won't never get the credit he deserves for being as smart to this business as he is,
Right.
or was. He'll never get the credit he deserves. And he just, I mean, like I said, the way he handled the boys, the fans, the way he booked, the things he did, he always made the show fun more than anything else. I mean, look, one night we're in the old building before they had the new building built. The building they're back in now.
Yeah, I never went to the new building.
All right, that was the first building. So at the end of the night, there Moondog, everybody ends up out in the ring and around the ring fighting and shit, babies and heels. And so Moondog's going to come out and shoot a fire extinguisher off.
Mm.
Got a fire extinguisher, never thinks to check it. Never thinks to check it. So everybody's out there fighting, going back and forth, and all of a sudden here comes Moondog and he goes to spraying his fucking fire extinguisher off. Well, it's not a gas fire extinguisher. It's one of them old school powder fire extinguishers.
Oh.
So this powder's in your mouth. It's all over everybody. Literally, the whole building, fans and wrestlers, all had to leave the building.
Yeah.
Because we were all choking. He sprayed this shit everywhere in the whole building. The walls are a dark color, and they're not really black. They're kind of black with some darker colors, different colors in it.
Yeah.
But the whole building had this white sheen to it where all this powder is all over it. Dude, about choked us all to death. But Moondog, he's like, damn, we get to the back. And of course, the fans were all cool with it. They had a blast.
Yeah.
Outside choking and happy, but at the end of the night, no one was pissed, no one had no heat with it. And Moondog, like, damn, he said, should have checked that fire extinguisher. You know, he run everybody out of that motherfucker, man.
Right.
Everybody.
Well, where do we go from Moondog?
I don't know, what time is it?
We've been going 2 hours and 20 minutes.
You know I'm gonna have to cut this video up.
Yeah.
Where did we go from Moondog? Worked on and off for Moondog in 1995. Moondog actually sent me to Puerto Rico.
Right.
He sent me over there.
How did Puerto Rico go?